You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
President Trump predicts a big week ahead. He has set a date to announce a nominee for the U.S. Supreme Court. A landmark on Anna Maria Island is slowly being dismantled today. We'll have a live update from the scene. And it's a video that's gone viral on social media. The challenge two officers took part in. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning, 5 a.m. Monday, July 2nd. Glad you're with us. I'm Ray Collins. Stephanie Webb is back tomorrow, and now we join John Scalzi. A tale of two very different days this past weekend, John.
Boy, it certainly was, wasn't it? I mean, Saturday, I thought it was going to rain most of the day. Luckily, it kind of cleared out a little bit. At least it stopped raining a little bit during the afternoon. So got a few of the boat races off, but Sunday was great. A lot of sunshine around. And today will probably be very similar. A little bit of rainfall chance, but not a lot. And plenty of sunshine in the works. So we see this one little area of low pressure that continues to spin around north of us. That's the one that brought us the Saturday rain. That's the one that's continuing to move further away from our area and to basically fall apart. For us, high pressure builds in. We're left with lots of sunshine. Right now, Titan radar not showing a whole lot of rainfall anywhere. One little lone shower off the Pinellas County coastline, otherwise quiet. We had some cloud cover, mostly now out in Gulf waters, leaving us with some pretty quiet and sunny conditions. I think as dawn breaks, we'll have a lot of sunshine to start off the day. And temperatures are warm, no doubt about it. We're near the 80-degree mark already. We'll go with about 76 by 7 o'clock this morning. And then as we head into the afternoon, again, pretty close to the 90 mark. We'll have that complete forecast for you coming up in a few, Ray.
All right, John, talk to you soon. Checking first alert traffic. So far, so good. In Manatee County, no real problems so far to report. Checking farther south now. Some red there in the map you'll see, I-75 northbound as you cross over Fruitville. So I should have said southbound. You can tell it's Monday. Southbound at 75, be aware of that if by chance you are going from north to south today. A slowdown already on Fruitville. Otherwise, pretty clear. Checking farther south, nothing to report. South County at 5:02 on this Monday morning. President Trump plans to announce a new Supreme Court nominee 1 week from today, and he predicts this week will be big as well. ABC's Kenneth Moten has our preview.
President Trump back in Washington and back to preparing for a battle over his pick for the Supreme Court.
It's probably going to be vicious because the other side, all they can do is obstruct and resist. You know, the whole thing is resist.
The president on Fox News hitting Democrats, but the resistance could also come from some members of his own party.
A candidate for this important position who would overturn Roe v. Wade would not be acceptable to me because that would indicate an activist agenda.
But will the president ask potential nominees about the landmark abortion case?
Well, that's a big one, and probably not. They're all saying don't do that.
The Supreme Court showdown comes as the president continues to deal with backlash from his zero-tolerance immigration policy.
Shame! Shame!
Massive rallies over the weekend in cities across the country to protest the policy that led to illegal immigrant family separations at the border.
I understand rules, I understand process, I understand all that, but this is about children. We're talking about children.
From celebrities to politicians, some, including Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren on CNN, criticizing immigration and customs enforcement.
We need to rebuild our immigration system from top to bottom, starting by replacing ICE.
President Trump seized on those comments, saying Democrats want open borders and massive crime, an issue the president believes will help Republicans during the midterm election. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
An immigrant mother and daughter separated after crossing the border were reunited this past weekend in Miami. Buenaventura Godinez Martin hadn't seen her 7-year-old daughter in nearly 2 months. Godinez Martin said she was trying to get away from gang violence in Guatemala. She entered the U.S. with her 10-month-old son in May to seek asylum. They were detained together. Days after Godinez Martin was released from detention, her husband crossed the border with their daughter, seen here. The father and daughter were separated under the Trump policy of zero tolerance. The family is now waiting to hear from immigration officials about their asylum request. Back in this area, work is underway to take down the historic Anna Maria Pier. It was first built back in 1911. Hurricane Irma damaged the pier. Now the city is going to replace it starting today. Marla Spence is live there with a preview. Marla?
Good morning, Ray. As you can see, there is still a no trespassing sign out here at the pier. It's been out here following Hurricane Irma. Now, the good news this morning is that the restoration of the pier is now underway after the pier has been closed for nearly 10 months. Now, Hurricane Irma is the cause of the pier being closed for all of those months. The damage was so bad that the city of Anna Maria decided it was just best to demolish the pier and construct a new one. Now, work started yesterday on the pier, but it's going to take a while before it's done. In August, workers will begin the new platform for the pier. A bait shop and a restaurant will also be constructed, and that will begin next April. But the entire pier will be completed and is expected to be completed December 2019. Reporting live in Anna Maria, Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. Plans have been unveiled for a new public safety facility in Venice. City leaders approved plans for a building on East Venice Avenue, seen right there. It'll be the new home for the Venice Police Department. The conceptual plan was unveiled instead of a floor layout plan, which can't be made public now for security reasons. The new building will be an upgrade from the current police station, which has some leak issues, some leaky roof. Apparently, the city will break ground on this new facility sometime next year. Construction is also now underway at the new Aquatic Center in Northport. The city broke ground over the weekend on the $10 million project. We spoke to the city's Parks and Rec manager about what you can expect at this new center.
There's a lazy river which will set it off from all other pools and facilities like this around. It's the only lazy river for 3 counties, so we know that that will be a great draw for families. The pool itself was designed so that we could have swim meets and competitions. We're going to have 3 slides. One is a bowl slide that specifically the teenage population has really looked for, and then we also will have a small splash pad for kids.
Construction on all this should be finished by next summer. Also, City of Northport asking for your help to name a new playground there. The future play area has been designed for kids of all ages, including those with physical, developmental, cognitive, and sensory disabilities. Construction for the Boundless Playground is underway at the Garden of 5 Senses, which is off Pan American Boulevard right there. The project is expected to be complete in November. Now, we have a link on our website as to where you can send your suggestions for a name for this new park. Just go to mysuncoast.com. Your chance to celebrate Independence Day a day early. Yeah, Nathan Benderson Park will hold fireworks tomorrow on the lake. The day will feature a variety of bands and a chance for a picnic, as well as paddle boards and kayak rentals. Admission is free, and bring your blankets and lawn chairs. The event goes from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. again tomorrow, not Wednesday. Clear blue skies greeted racers and beachgoers for the final day of racing at the Sarasota Grand Prix yesterday. Quite the opposite from Saturday's rain. Crowds packed Lido Beach to watch as boaters showed off their need for speed.
It's always been on the bucket list to do the event, and we're checking the bucket list off today. Gorgeous out here, a little bit of breeze, a little bit of cloud cover, then you get the sun. Couldn't ask for a better day.
Visibility was a lot better today, and the sea conditions, were almost ideal for our size boat.
Win or lose, it was a great day for all as proceeds went towards Suncoast Charities for Children, which gives grants to children, teens, and adults with special needs in our area. They actually build facilities for them. If you missed the races this weekend, there's still some time to see some highlights. We have a link on our website at mysuncoast.com with both the powerboat and the Aquax races as well. And I've got some photos also on my own site. If you go to Facebook, ABC7, you'll see some photos I uploaded as well. So guess what? Best Buy having a big change in their policy on compact discs. We'll have that story coming up. And first, a unique Florida law is in effect that could affect you next time you go to the beach here on the Suncoast. We'll explain. 5:09 right now. Here's a live shot from downtown Atlanta. The Ferris wheel all lit up there in Centennial Park. Pretty shot there, John Scalzi.
Yes, indeed. We are looking at a gorgeous day around here as well. We're looking at daytime highs that top out near the 90-degree mark. Our day planner shows that we have some pretty warm conditions. We'll look for about a 20 to 30% chance of rain showers in the afternoon. That's it. Not much, actually. And the drive time forecast is not going to check any of the inclement weather boxes. Heading out the door, you'll have temperatures near 80, warm and humid conditions. On the way home, upper 80s, maybe a thunderstorm possible, about a 30% chance of that, but most of the activity will be in inland areas. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Warm start already at 76 degrees. We have a dew point value coming in at 74, so it feels very humid outside. We have fairly starry skies, though. It's kind of a nice start to the day, although the east wind will tend to bring us a chance of a shower early on as the sea breeze begins to form. We'll look for about 76, I think we'll do it by about 7 o'clock this morning, about 90 by noon. So we're going to warm up pretty quickly under the influence of all that sunshine. 20% chance of a shower near the coastline, I think, first as we head into the lunchtime hour, and then as we head into the afternoon, bump it up to about 30%. Those will be mostly inland showers. So really a less chance today than we might normally have at this time of year. 20% lingering shower by 7 p.m. as some of the inland showers kind of work their way back to the coastline, perhaps. We had lots of stuff around in inland areas yesterday, and of course they're still having showers to the north of us around this large area of low pressure that continues to spin. It's basically in the process of falling apart, though, so its impact on our weather becomes much less. Not a whole lot of activity here currently. I think you're Morning commute should be absolutely fine, rain-free and smooth sailing. As you come home this afternoon, there might be an isolated shower in the inland area, but the weather highlights show what we'll be waiting for really is high pressure to build into the north of us, and as it does so, we've established this easterly wind flow for the next several days. That'll allow our west coast sea breeze to build, and showers mostly in inland areas will be forced back to the coast toward the second half of the nighttime. Looks like that easterly wind flow is going to be with us as we head into the 4th of July holiday. However, along with that, we do have also this little trough of low pressure that'll be moving back to the west again, similar to the last one we had, and that may up the rain chances just a little bit as we head into the 4th of July. Not a lot, but a little bit. So the futurecast for today shows things, kind of mix of sun and clouds. We'll have a lot more sunshine than anything else. Then as we head through the morning, we'll watch a few scattered showers try to build toward the coastline as the sea breeze begins to form around the lunchtime hour or so. Then those showers kind of move into inland areas and hang there for the rest of the afternoon and evening. Coastal regions remain quiet, so if you're heading to the beach today, should be a good beach day, I think, especially after we get through the lunchtime period in the mid-afternoon. We'll look for a daytime high that also features this westerly wind, keeping the coast just a little bit cooler, while everybody else gets up into the 90s along the coast, probably in the upper 80s. A 10-knot wind will be with us through the day, and night it'll be reduced to about 5 knots. And the forecast for the rest of the week looks like this: 91 today, 30% chance of showers, 30 again tomorrow. Tomorrow, kind of a repeat of today, actually. And then as we head into Wednesday, 4th of July, we'll put in about a 40% chance of showers. That's not too bad for this time of year, so hopefully things will work out well there for all outside celebrations. And then a 40% chance on Thursday and Friday, and then maybe up the rain chance just a little bit as we get back to a more typical summertime pattern on Saturday and Sunday. Back to you, Ray.
John, checking traffic now, 301 northbound. Some issues there as you head toward downtown Bradenton. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee County. Checking farther south, now here's the upper half of Sarasota County. That earlier issue on 75 southbound has since cleared up. Westbound, though, on Fruitville, a little blip there as you approach Cattleman and Cooper Creek. Should be okay after a moment there. And then farther south, nothing to report so far at 517. Mexico has elected its first leftist president in decades. In fact, some call him the Bernie Sanders of Mexico. President Trump has already called to congratulate Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador on his victory. Reporter Patrick Oppman has our story.
Mexicans are celebrating what many are calling a revolution for this country. You see people pouring into the square behind me to celebrate an event they never thought would take place, the election of leftist populist candidate Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. He's been running for president now for over a decade. This is his third attempt at the office. Previous attempts, he said, kept him from gaining office because of corruption. Not right now, though. He has more than defeated the opposition. That's because more of Mexican society, he's mainly appealed over the years to the nation's poorest. But this election, he managed to reach out. So many people were struck by his anti-corruption message, his message against the violence that is racking this country. But now the hard questions will begin to emerge. How will he govern? How will he, for example, confront Donald Trump over the issues that are so unpopular, like the wall, like the trade war? So those questions still remain, but Mexicans are out right now celebrating this very unlikely victory. Patrick Ottman, CNN, Mexico City.
And now to the north, where Canada has imposed new tariffs on U.S. exports shipped to Canada, totaling $12 billion. They're in direct retaliation against other tariffs President Trump imposed on Canadian goods coming into the U.S. So now, more than 40 U.S. steel products are now subject to tariffs of 25%. And a tax of 10% has been added on 80 other American items, including toffee, maple syrup, coffee beans, strawberry jam. U.S. tariffs against Canadian steel and aluminum went into effect on June 1st. Canada is the largest exporter of steel to the U.S. in terms of value in the year 2017. Well, end of an era. A big box store will stop selling compact discs today. Best Buy plans to pull out all the CDs. Due to changing technology, CD sales were down 20% last year. But here's the twist. Best Buy is still selling record albums. They say vinyl has made a comeback. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, new this morning what Facebook is admitting to that affects users' data. And after the break, we'll show you the challenge that's going viral on social media. You'll want to hear that one. But first, here's a shot of New York Harbor. Nice gift from France back in 1886, your Statue of Liberty. 5:20 right now, Monday morning, July 2nd. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
From the moment she walked in the door, we stopped having to go to the pharmacy. Certain prescriptions, my health plan or the pharmacy wasn't even able to get here. And hospice provided them, and all we had to do was call up, and the next thing they know, there was another, a delivery.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Welcome back. 5:23. Certainly very different days this past weekend. Saturday, much of a rain out. And then Sunday was nice, wasn't it? Went out to the races ourselves and saw lots of viewers, some great races as well off Lido Key Shores. They expect about 20,000 people were out on the beaches yesterday. There's a shot right there of the Rosemary District at 5:23 on this Monday morning. All right, fun story here. 2 law enforcement agencies in Texas are joining in on a social media trend. They took to Facebook for a lip sync challenge. Jason Rushing of Gray County did a rendition of Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi, while Richard Murray of Hartley County put his spin on Charlie Puth's One Call Away. Here's a listen. The first guy knew the lyrics a little better. Both of the posts were widely seen on social media. 524 now, Facebook admitting to giving dozens of tech companies special access to user data. The story in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a big admission from Facebook. The company says it has provided users' data to dozens of tech companies.
That's despite publicly saying it was restricting such access 3 years ago. The admission was made in new company documents given to Congress. Facebook also says that it's ended most of those sharing agreements.
Instagram is now offering Instagram Lite. It can be used to perform most of the functions in the main app, including posting photos and adding filters.
But you can't use it to share videos or send direct messages to friends. And finally, a new device that tells you when you might be getting a little ripe.
So the Tanita ES100 uses a smell sensor, and it takes about 10 seconds to measure if any of your body parts may be offensive. It just went on sale in Japan, costing $125.
Do you think you need it?
I'm pretty sure.
I'll do it for you.
Little
You're
right?
good.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Allstate.
And now for the rings.
And we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel and we're...
I'm a 4-year-old ring bearer with a bad habit of swallowing stuff.
I still won't eat my broccoli, though.
And if you don't have the right coverage, you could be paying for that pricey love band yourself.
So get an Allstate agent and be better protected from mayhem like me. Can a ring bearer get a snack around here?
Over the last 24 hours, you've finished preparing him for college. In 24 hours, you'll send him off thinking you've done everything for his well-being. But meningitis B progresses quickly and can be fatal, sometimes within 24 hours. While meningitis B is uncommon, about 1 in 10 infected will die. Like millions of others, your teen may not be vaccinated against meningitis B. Meningitis B strikes quickly. Be quick to talk to your teen's doctor about a meningitis B vaccine.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's at FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Lava continues to spread, destroying homes in Hawaii, why one resident says it's impossible for him to get home. A landmark on Anna Maria Island slowly being torn apart. And millions are expected to be on the roads this week where you can get the cheapest gas in our area. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast. Good morning, 5:30 right now. I'm Ray Collins. Stephanie Webb is back tomorrow. It is Monday, July the 2nd. Past the weekend now. Let's look toward Monday, and here's the forecast from John Scalzi.
Well, the wet weather that we had on Saturday was produced by an area of low pressure moving through parts of North Florida that's now moving further away from us, and our weather improved much on Sunday, and today the same thing. I think we'll be looking at less than average rain chances again as we head into the afternoon. Scanning radar right now, not picking up a drop of rain around anywhere. Morning commute should be fine. Don't really see any kind of issues there. Lots of sunshine as well. Most of the cloud cover way out here in the central Gulf waters, close to that area of low pressure that's spinning around. So we have plenty of sunshine to boost our temperatures up, and boy, it will. We'll get up to, again, about 91 degrees for a daytime high. Rain chance today, it's in the forecast, but it's really only at about 30%, which is not much for this time of year. So scattered showers around, first near the coastline around noon, followed by those showers moving inland with about a 30% coverage later in the afternoon. We'll have the complete forecast coming up in a few.
All right, thank you, John. Checking the roads. There's the first alert seen in Manatee County. Some buildup there on 301 southbound as you cross over State Road 70. Otherwise, mostly clear in Manatee County. Checking farther south now to the northern half of Sarasota County, 301 northbound as you leave from Fruitville and head up toward Newtown. Some congestion there. And then farther south, nothing to speak of right now at 5:31 on your Monday morning. Well, hundreds of homes have burned. Hundreds more are still standing but inaccessible. And that's leaving homeowners in Hawaii in limbo. A guy named Nate Tomaselli knows his farm home of 28 years is still standing and isn't barred from going into the lava zone, but getting there requires crossing several properties, going through gates, and still the banks of that lava river make it too dangerous to continue.
If there is a spillage, which could easily happen, we're not ones that are not going to be expecting the best. It just makes it very impossible to get to our homes in any timely manner, and the fire department can't come. If we had any emergency services we needed, we can't get them to come. So it's difficult.
What a mess. Tomaselli spent weeks in a shelter before finding a rental home. Nearly 10 months after Hurricane Irma back in this area, work begins to dismantle the storm-damaged Anna Maria Island Pier. It's been there for over 100 years, but no more. Marla Spence joins us live now for the preview of the ongoing demolition. Marla?
Good morning, Ray. Yeah, this pier has been here for about 106 years, and it also drew large crowds out here. But since Hurricane Irma, this pier has been closed because an extensive amount of damage due to that hurricane. The good news this morning is that reconstruction of the pier is now underway after being closed for nearly 10 months. Now, as of yesterday, workers began to demolish the pier in order to restore it. In August, workers will also begin building the new platform. A bait shop and also a restaurant will be constructed, but that will begin next April, and the pier is expected to be totally complete as of December 2019. I'm Marla Spence reporting live in Anna Maria for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. An update now following concerns over housing for refugees of last year's Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico. Now a judge has ordered officials to extend vouchers for temporary hotel evacuees. This decision comes hours after a civil rights group sought a federal injunction to block the eviction of about 2,000 Puerto Ricans whose vouchers were set to expire. So FEMA is now working to notify hotels to extend the aid until Thursday to comply with the order. Stay tuned. Of the dozens of new laws that took effect across Florida yesterday, one will impact where you can go to the beach in our area. Erica Jackson now has a closer look at enhanced property rights.
I assumed that, everybody's allowed to walk back here. We get a ton of that.
Colleen Profera lives steps away from the Gulf. She's used to the high tide rushing through the sand but is often surprised to see beachgoers sitting on her stairs or walking through her backyard.
And they don't realize what they're doing. They'll come up and then be surprised.
But now beachfront homeowners have more power to ask strangers to leave. Starting Sunday, a new state law gives property owners the right to kick people off the sand on their private beach.
I don't know how they're going to know about it, so I don't know if that will stop them much.
Florida's new law makes it easier for beachgoers to understand where they can tread while on private property. The wet tide belongs to the public. Property owners have the right to limit access on the dry sand.
If I knew that it was illegal to walk on the dry sand in this area, I wouldn't.
One Siesta Key condominium is already enforcing the newly enacted law, requiring wristbands for beach access and displaying signs along the property.
If you're not paying attention and you're not pushing it, I think, then it probably won't be as big of a deal, but it would depend probably on the owner.
The unique law is the first of its kind in the U.S. and also forbids local government from enacting or enforcing a customary use ordinance.
The government cannot now come back and say, okay, but you can come onto the land for a certain amount of time or under these circumstances to use the beach.
Profera says she doesn't plan on contacting law enforcement when beachgoers trespass on the private beach, unless they're causing a disturbance.
And if they're just sitting there drinking or throwing trash, sometimes you get that, then I would be like, no.
Reporting on Siesta Key, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Police in Sarasota say they'll still assess how this will impact city beaches on Lido Key. Nearly 40 million people are expected to hit the roads for 4th of July this week, and they'll pay more for gas. AAA says the average price is now $2.90, a four-year high for this holiday period. Overall, that'll cost drivers $1 billion more than last year. A recent survey showed the top fear of travelers is overpaying for gasoline. If you're heading out of state, Gas Buddy encourages drivers to check prices before crossing a state line. One Georgia resident says he's considering the gas prices here in Florida as he gets ready to hit the roads.
I am going to be traveling, going down to Orlando and spend a little time at the parks, but gas is definitely a consideration now. You got to factor that in.
And according to Gas Buddy, here are the cheapest prices right here on the Suncoast. In Sarasota, you can fill up at the Texaco on Fruitville for $2.65 a gallon. In Bradenton, you can fill up at the Mobile on First Street for also $2.65. And in Venice, same price. Cheapest one we can find is the Shell on US 41. We're learning more about the will of the late First Lady Barbara Bush. Not surprisingly, her last will and testament names her husband, former President George H.W. Bush, as the executor of her estate. Now, should he pass away or be unable to serve as executor, their sons, former President George W. Bush and former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, will take over as co-executors. They're the oldest in the family. The will was drafted in 2009. She passed away this past April. The Special Olympics begin this morning in Seattle. Opening ceremonies were yesterday at the University of Washington's Husky Stadium. The athletes were cheered on as they entered the arena. Events include flag football, tennis, track, and volleyball. Special Olympics began back in 1968. Still ahead, recreational marijuana is now legal in Vermont, but what residents are still not allowed to do despite the new law? Here's a live shot from Washington, D.C. There is your White House. It's going to be a hot one there today. They're going to have a high of 96 degrees, hotter in D.C. than in Florida. Tell your friends up north about that. We've got the nice Gulf breeze down here, John.
Yeah, 102 degrees in New York City yesterday. Wow. Just crazy hot. We have, again, red tide still on the maps this morning. Anywhere from Venice northward, it's either none at all or in just the very slight categories in terms of irritants in the air. But south of Minnesota, from Minnesota south, I should say, is where the highest concentrations have been here on the Sun Coast. Winds will generally be out of the west this afternoon as our sea breeze begins to form. Heading to the beach should be nice. UV index will be high once again at about a 12, and you'll have a high temperature near the coastline of about 89. Complete forecast in a second.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G-Freed has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G-Freed Flooring America. G-Freed Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
When ABC7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Mild start today, 76 degrees. We have a dew point value of 74. East wind comes in at about 3, and the heat index is 76. We have a lot of starshine out there right now, not a whole lot in the way of cloud cover. But these temperatures are pretty consistent with where we should be at this time of year. We'll certainly see the daytime high slightly above average by a degree or two, but not too bad, really. By 9 a.m., 81 degrees. By noon, about 90. We'll have then about a 20% chance of showers, starting near the coastline first, and as the sea breeze forms and pushes inland, so too will the showers, with that 30% chance being mostly in inland areas. As we head into the evening and the sea breeze collapses, we'll see a few of those showers being worked back toward the coastline. We'll keep that 20% chance of a shower in the forecast for 7 p.m. Rain chances really not all that great today. Currently, we're not seeing a whole lot of action around here. We did see some showers in inland areas yesterday, but things have kind of tapered off since then. That area of low pressure that brought us the weekend showers continues to spin, but moving further away from us. Its impact on us is not going to be all that significant today. We'll notice pretty quiet conditions as we're seeing right now. There's just not a whole lot of rainfall anticipated for the morning commute, so should be good there. Weather highlights include, well, a couple of things. We're going to have like little changes in the atmosphere this week. No big, whopping, huge changes, but little changes which will impact the weather in kind of subtle ways, but significant ways. The first thing is we'll have a little area of low pressure kind of work its way closer to us as we head into tomorrow. This little trough of low pressure just to our north coming in from the east will help to enhance rainfall chances a bit more than we'll see today. By Wednesday, I'd say, our rain chances will be almost double what they are right now. Still lower than average, but still a little bit higher. High pressure building in brings us an easterly wind flow. That will be consistent right straight, I think, through the next couple of days. And what that will tend to do will bring our showers that build along the coastline and cause them to really explode in inland areas as the east coast wind and the sea breeze that's local kind of meet right up the center of the state and really produce that line of showers that then maybe get pushed back a little bit closer to the coast. So our future cast today kind of shows those few scattered showers building around the noontime hour close to the coastline. They'll be few and far between, but they'll be around. And then as we move inland later in the afternoon, some of them will become stronger, generally pushing away from the coastline. And then as the sea breeze collapses with the heating of the day, some of those showers work their way back to the coast. Southwest wind comes in light today at about 10 knots. Should be a nice day out there on the waters. Really don't see any problems here. Light chop, 2-foot seas. Pretty nice. Water temperature now at 86. So the forecast for the day looks like this. Daytime high tops out around 91. Same thing tomorrow with about a 30% chance of showers. We'll go up to about 40% on the 4th of July. We'll look for a temperature of about 91. It'll be a hot, steamy afternoon with most of the showers building inland, but a few of them working their way back toward the coast as we head into the evening. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, about the same sort of thing, 30 to 40% chance of storms. Saturday and Sunday, though, will bump up the rain chance just a little bit to about 50% on Saturday, 40% on Sunday. Ray?
All right, thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic. State Road 70, seeing some congestion westbound as drivers approach 14th Street West. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee County. Checking farther south now, you'll see some issues there in Sarasota County. Cattleman Road is seeing some traffic there on Fruitville in the westbound lane. Otherwise, pretty smooth at this hour of the day. And then farther south, a little blip there at the very base of your screen down there by Northport as you come out of the Port Charlotte area. The Federal Trade Commission is cracking down on scams that target veterans. According to a new study by the FTC, imposter scams tend to target veterans more than the average consumer. And according to local consumer watchdog Jerry Zivick, last year, military consumers lost millions.
Military consumers have lost $25 million in the last year, and the average amount where they've lost is $699 per instance, as compared to the average consumer that loses $500 per instance.
Of online dating sites are saying there's an emergency with a friend or family member. For more tips on how to protect yourselves, you can go to our app. You can find it at our app store under WWSB or under My Suncoast. Some sad news from the world of wrestling. A once rising star has passed away from brain cancer. Matt Capitelli was a co-winner of the wrestling reality competition show WWE Tough Enough 3 years back in 2003. Very sad news. He was sidelined by a brain cancer diagnosis 3 years later. According to a statement from the WWE, the cancer was treated successfully but returned in 2017. His wife made the announcement on Instagram. Capitelli was just 38 years old. Recreational marijuana is now legal in Vermont. Governor Phil Scott signed the law in January with what he called mixed emotions. The law allows adults to possess up to 1 ounce of marijuana, 2 mature plants, or 4 immature plants. Funny phrase there. Residents are not allowed to smoke in cars, at the beach, in parks, or any public place. Vermont is the 9th state to legalize marijuana. Florida voters approved medical marijuana 2 years ago. A Department of Agriculture study found 90% of the time people are not washing their hands adequately. And that means germs can make you sick that are staying on your hands. As a reminder, the Centers for Disease Control say you should wet your hands, lather them with soap, and rub all over for at least 20 seconds. And then dry them with a clean towel or the air vents they've got in those bathrooms. Don't use a towel that is also used for any other purpose like wiping counters or utensils. 48 million people get foodborne illnesses every year, and many of those cases could be prevented with proper hand washing. Entertainment news now, a dinosaur-sized sequel, a huge week for an alternative band, and a small movie promising big laughs. Here's David Daniel with our Hollywood Minute.
This is the most dangerous creature that ever walked the earth.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom isn't just the biggest movie in North America, it's big everywhere. The thriller is the #1 movie internationally at $667 million, pushing the movie's global total to $932 million. Box office watchers expect it to pass the $1 billion mark this week. Panic at the Disco had a pretty good week as well. The band's new disc, Pray for the Wicked, debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 album chart, with the biggest week for an alternative rock album this year.
I think I've had enough Tucker bloody Crow to last 20 lifetimes.
Tucker has a new album, and I don't want to spend my time with someone who doesn't get it.
Here's the first trailer for Juliet Naked, starring Rose Byrne as Annie, whose longtime partner, played by Chris O'Dowd, is obsessed with obscure rocker Tucker Crow, played by Ethan Hawke. When Annie and Tucker strike up a relationship online and then in person, both might get a second chance. The romantic comedy, based on the Nick Hornby novel, opens in August.
Duncan Thompson, Tucker Crow. I'm Stevie Wonder.
Just take it
Real
easy.
mature, Annie.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Big news in the world of sports. LeBron James is leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers to join the Los Angeles Lakers. He signed a 4-year, $154 million contract with the Lakers. He played his previous 15 seasons with the Cavaliers and the Heat. King James has been to the NBA All-Star Game every year since 2005 and is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. One of the best, if not the best. 5:51 right now. Here's a peek outside our studio at what it looks like at this moment. There's downtown Sarasota off in the distance. Should see a nice day today. About a high of 91 degrees. Chance of rain about 30%. John's forecast one last time this hour, and also the day's top 3 news headlines coming up right here on Good Morning Suncoast.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
your child's classmate,
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more. Thank you.
Bye. Have a good day. Be safe. What are you doing?
You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma.
It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back. Here are the top headlines on the Suncoast today. The city of Northport broke ground over the weekend on a new $10 million water park. It should be complete in 12 months. The city of Venice approved a new police station on East Venice Avenue. They plan to break ground there next year. And why wait until Wednesday? Nathan Benderson Park will host 4th of July activities on the 3rd of July. That's right, tomorrow. Live music, fireworks. It goes from 4 p.m. until 10 p.m. Next half hour, the body of a 25-year-old Memphis soldier who died last week during a training exercise in Florida is back home. The gators, the number of abandoned gators are rising in one state as well as a gator fight caught on camera. Let's get the forecast now from John Scalzi. John?
Ray, a couple of things you can take away with you today. We're looking at basically a warm day, but less than average rain chance. Our daytime high will top out around 91, and our rain chance only at about 30%, which is about 10% to 20% less than we normally would see. Rain chance goes up, though, slightly for the 4th of July. It won't be a washout, but there will be a few more showers around, and all week long it will be warm. Back to you.
Very nice. Thank you, John. Talk to you again soon. One more full hour of the morning show straight ahead right here on ABC 7.